Hey, I missed you guys. Welcome. There's this new lamp here. I'm gonna move it. We're setting up. Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to the live stream. It's Tuesday. It's 12 p.m. Sun is shining. Everything is great. Hey. Okay. What did I? Oh, what was I supposed to say? Okay, great. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm 1 minute late. I know you were waiting. So the topic today is about finding a job and selecting what you want to do in your life. How do you make that choice? Who you listen to? What do you base your choice on? Like all of that kinds of topics. Yeah. Good evening, good morning, good night, wherever you are. Let me know where you're watching from. Whether it's your first time watching the live stream, that's a very important thing. If it's your first time, let me know, because I know some people. I recognize some names already. Yay! I am in San Francisco. Sorry for the lamb. I'm in San Francisco. I am traveling to LA for just one day tomorrow for a very special event. One of my friends is getting married, and I'm so excited. But this is the first time I'm going to do, I'm going to go to LA 10 a.m. in the morning. I'm going to spend the whole day in LA, and then 8 p.m. I'm going to be back in San Francisco, which is going to be a lot of fun. Yesterday, as you know from my Instagram, if you don't follow me yet, it's Lingua Marina on Instagram, just the same as my name here on YouTube. Yesterday, I told you guys that I shot an amazing video, 50 phrases that you should learn in English. It's going to come out in 2 days, on Thursday. It's almost ready. Yeah. Okay. Hey, from Brazil, Lithuania, Morocco. Nice. First time on the live stream. Welcome. Okay, couple of things I wanted to tell you, because we're talking about jobs today. We're looking for a person in Colombia, Spanish speaker who's acquainted with study abroad. The best thing is if you have already worked in study abroad. Oh, and we see a person from Colombia. Hello, Juan. Yeah, if you could spread this information. Yeah, we're looking for a person to work with us, customer service and market strategy. Colombia, Spanish speaker, fluent English language speaker, study abroad expert. Yay, a lot of Colombia. Wow, there's so many people from Colombia. Yeah, I like why Colombia, because this is the same time zone as in California. So we're going to be like 24/7, because we also have an office in Europe. And yeah, Spanish language. And I feel you guys are traveling like crazy. So I talked to a couple of people, and yeah. Okay, Russia, Brazil. We're mostly South America here today, right? Oh, and also India, Australia. What time is it in Australia? Oh my God. Hello, Germany. Okay, let's start talking about getting a job of your dreams. I'm going to start with my story. I don't know whether you watched my latest video about what mistakes I've done when I was 20. Something that you should know is that when you're 20 or 21, this is the best time to try like literally anything you can. My first job was selling Avon Cosmetics. I was 14 years old. Let me know if you've ever done that. Avon Cosmetics is, I don't know, this how do they call that? Market. No, I don't remember the word, but there is the word, which is like uses the network effect when you sell to your friends. So what I've done, I asked my mom to come to this Avon event with me because I was 14, or maybe I was 12 even. I was in the 8th grade. 8th grade is probably, I'm sorry, 6th grade. Yeah, probably 12. That was my first job, a like proper job, because I had an agreement and I couldn't sign the agreement because I was underage. So I took my mom with me to the Avon office and asked her to sign the papers for me. And what it was, they would just send me catalogs of Avon Cosmetics. I loved cosmetics. So I sat down and I knew everything about Avon. And I went to school. I talked to our teachers. I gave them small presents like Avon testers and told them, if you order through me, I'm going to deliver everything to your classroom. And I would say 50% of my school teachers bought cosmetics from me. And that was my first job. I remember every Wednesday I would receive boxes of cosmetics. Oh, I loved that experience. So this is something that I really enjoyed doing. And this was also my first sales experience. And I realized I want to be a salesperson. Well, I want to sell. I want to do business where your revenue, your salary depends on how good you work. So for me, this is one of the best motivators because I tried to work for a fixed price. that doesn't really work for me. I want to see, what is my impact? What happens if I work harder? What happens if I sell more? What happens if not 50, but 70% of teachers at school buy from me? Then I get increased commission, blah, blah, blah. So that was a really important factor for me. Some people are different. For some of you, you would say, I want stability. I want to be sure that I'm getting the same amount of money every month. It doesn't depend on whether there is an earthquake in California or whether something happened in the world. I just want to receive my salary. Some people that works. So this is something you need to determine. Again, my approach to this would be trying as much as you can. I also remembered another job that I had. Well, it wasn't a job, but I spent every summer. I went to my grandparents who lived in a small city in Russia. And there I used to sing outside in my yard. I would just go out and sing and collect money from people who passed by, or chewing gums or whatever. But this is not really a business. So Avon was like the first one. The second one, as I said, I tried to work for a fixed amount of money. And that happened when I was on my, so I was in the university. It was after my first year at the university. And as I said in the video, if you haven't watched it, you should totally watch it, guys, because it is about top 9 mistakes that I made when I was 20. So yeah, that was a job where I went to sell souvenirs, because you know what else I realized when I was, whatever, like 15, 16, that I want to connect my job with English language, because I realized the English language is something that opens all of the doors. Like, you are no longer stuck in just your country. You're no longer stuck in just your region. You can go out and, you know, connect with the world. And this is what happened when I went to the UK and I started speaking English. I realized, wow, there is the whole different world. So I'm like, I want to connect my job with the English language. So when I was 20, when I was, I guess it was 19. This is when I got my first job, when I had a fixed salary per day. That was like a super low salary. I guess I earned maybe $10 a day. This is how much they paid, maybe less. I don't remember, but I could work like that only for 2 weeks. Then I realized I'm not learning anything. I don't see the result, because yes, I work, I sell more, but my salary wasn't connected to how much I sell. There were some incentives, like if you sell $2,000 plus, then you get some incentive, but that was almost impossible because I sold souvenirs, and the average souvenir would be like, I don't know, $5. How can you sell goods worth $2,000? So I quit after 2 weeks. I realized I cannot do that. And yeah, after that, like in a couple of years, I started my own company, because I came to a conclusion that the best way I can see my impact is if I'm running the whole thing. And if I do the right choices, if I do more, then I earn more. This is how it happened. And yeah, but also there are people who are really scientific, and which has nothing to do with business, which has more to do with the research. And here I would say, again, English is a game changer. So if you're stuck in your own country, you won't be able to take part in the conferences, you won't be able to travel, blah, blah, blah. So even if you're a researcher, I would encourage you to try different options that are for free. Like, for many researchers out there in the world, there are so many opportunities. Like, if you want to do PhD in the United States, you're going to get full financial aid. 99% chance you're going to get full financial aid to study, to live in the United States, to support your whatever travels. So I have some of my friends here and some of our students who they get, on average, they get $1,500 a month just because they are doing their PhDs. And they live in a state that is not really expensive, so they can even save some money and travel once a year just on that money. And sometimes I'm a little jealous of those people, because they are doing what they love, because they love research, and then they just get paid for it and they do what they enjoy. But this is also a lot of work. So my approach to finding the right job would be, you know, trying as many things as you can. And I'm like, I need to prove that I'm saying the words I believe in. I tried to be a researcher. Like, I tried to do a PhD in a Russian university. But then again, I realized my entrepreneurial nature is stronger than that. I cannot just sit and research and write articles. But I tried. I've tried. My PhD lasted for 2 years before I dropped out. I just quit the university. Well, I moved to the States, and I didn't want to continue. I could continue, but I didn't want to, so I just stopped. But the thing is, I've tried almost everything there is. Well, not almost. I haven't tried like big corporations, but I never felt any passion for them because I had friends who joined corporations and I saw them. Elena, my aunt, she's working from 9 to 6 every day. And yes, she gets to travel business class. Yes, she gets to travel. She gets to stay in the best hotels in the world. But she doesn't have this freedom. So again, it's really different for everyone. I know people who are enjoying their corporate culture. But yeah, the main takeaway from here is to try everything. And I will also we'll be reading your questions, guys, regarding the topic. So please ask them here in the chat. Tim Cook says, don't learn a new language, learn programming. What do you think? There is so much debate about whether you should learn a language. And some people say, yes, with this Google headphones, they translate everything that you say. I know, like, world is changing, but really, how can you be genuine in a conversation when everything that you say is translated by a device, not by you? And some jokes are mistranslated, and your conversation takes 2 times longer because this thing takes some time to translate. And also, learning language is not just about communicating. It's about understanding culture. It's about working with your brain, working with this thing. Because if it doesn't work, if this thing stops working, and if you think, oh my God, I have this device that's going to translate, which is going to translate everything that I say. Oh, okay, I have this assistant who's going to do that. This thing stops working. It means you get older faster. So I think languages are super important, and not only for just communication, just for your brain as well. For programming, again, I am 100% for learning programming, and I did it. I tried so many things. At school, we had C++ course, and I took the most advanced one. So when I was at school, I was coding different games in C++. We coded different, like how to solve different equations. The thing is with programming, it changes so fast. So if you want to be a professional programming, you have to be hands-on every day. You have to be on github.com. Is it that website where you can check everything, what's going on? You have to be interested because languages change all the time. The thing with programming, you just need to have this mindset. I would say if you are at the university and you have a choice to learn programming, take that course because that would help your brain understand what's going on in that world. But if you don't want to be a professional programmer, that course would be enough. Because otherwise, if you're a professional, then you have to be 100% into programming. Which faculty have you been? So probably the question is, what was my faculty? My faculty was mathematical methods in economics. So it's both math and economics. What is my job? Great question. I run my own company, which is linguatrip.com, study abroad booking platform. And what I like about it is that it's not just a travel agency or whatever. It's a whole IT product because we automate the industry. We help people book language courses in a couple of clicks. We help them see all of the information. So I can really, use everything that coding. I don't really code myself, but I can talk to coders and use the knowledge that I have. I can talk to our salespeople and use the sales knowledge. I'm also the video person, as you see, because I'm running 2 vlogs. So again, for me, business is something that helps me be present in many spheres. Alrighty. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through your questions, guys. I wanna make sure I don't miss anything. Okay, Avon, Colombia. Okay, yeah, guys. Again, if you're from Colombia and if you have experience in study abroad, please send your resume to cv@linguatrip.com. Please mention why you're interested in working with us, and you have to be super fluent in English because none of us. Well, we have a couple of people who speak Spanish, but mostly we will be communicating in English. 7 a.m. in Sydney. Perfect. Okay, that is super early though. I'm not an early riser. In America, corporate world, and even like startup world, it is okay to set up a meeting for 8 a.m. in the morning. I never wake up 8 a.m. Well, I try to. Tomorrow I'll have to wake up at 8 a.m. But normally you would not wake up at 8 a.m. I don't know how you do this, American guys, if somebody's watching from America, but I really adore you. I cannot do that. I go to sleep at 1 a.m. and then I wake up like 9 a.m., maybe 9:30, but on the weekend I can sleep till 12 p.m. Yeah. Okay. Are you Russian? Yes. Um, what about Portuguese? Portuguese will be the next step. All right, it's too late for India. Okay, cool. So yeah, the next thing, like connected with whatever you want to do with your job, is what do you choose to study? Like, do you need to do another master's? Do you need to do a different bachelor's? Whatever. I know the majority of you guys are probably studying already. The thing is here, personally, I think it doesn't really matter what you study. It just has to be challenging. Because if you just want to be, if you want something easy, like some people go into translation or, English language as a major, especially if you're from a different country and you think that, okay, if I study English, that is going to be my advantage and I want to, work in English. I had the same mindset. I told my parents, I'm really fond of English. I want to study English so that when I come to America or the United Kingdom, I will be super proficient English speaker. And my parents told me, Marina, but what will be your advantage compared to people who are native speakers? And I'm like, none. So there is no advantage, right? So here, if you want to build an international career, you would need to think how you're going to compete with native speakers. So English or a foreign language is something that has to be natural. That's something you have to be advanced in. And okay, you're advanced and you stop thinking about it, because how are you going to compete with a native speaking native speaker? So I would say do something challenging. For example, why I chose, well, my parents helped me to choose, but why I chose mathematics and economics, because it was super challenging. I came from a language, we were not really good at maths. So when I came to mathematics and economics faculty in my university, first 2 months, I thought I'm going to drop out because I didn't get a thing. I was sitting like that. And there was this moment during the lecture where, like, I was literally falling asleep. I was watching outside of the window. The leaves were falling. Everything was super beautiful. We had this mathematical analysis lecture. I didn't get a thing. So I was sitting and dreaming. And I thought, nobody really understands, because the guy next to me was basically sleeping. And then there was this girl who was sitting on the first row, and she raises her hand and says, hey, I'm sorry, there's a mistake in the third line on the second desk. And everybody stares at her, and the teacher is like, oh, yes, you're right, there's a mistake. This is when I realized I'm so dumb, like I don't get anything. And this is when I realized I really have to study hard, because first I thought maybe nobody's getting what the teacher is saying, so it's okay. But after this moment, I realized I need to study, and I found a tutor, and by the end of the semester, I got my A in the exam, but I studied really hard. And you know what? This is super important, that when you study something challenging, because when you're 20, 21, 23, 24, this is the time where you can dedicate all of your energy to studying something new. Later, you're going to get your job, you're going to get your family, you're going to move to a different place. There will be other problems. But when you're young, you have this energy to try and learn something really challenging. Even if you fail, your brain was still working, which is super important. So please, 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 guys, select something that is challenging. And if you're like in the middle of your, bachelor's in computer science, and you're like, maybe I should stop doing that because this is super hard, think twice. Because if you drop it off now, there is no way you're going to do it once again. I don't know. I don't think so. Okay, what about economics? Yeah, economics is a great subject to study, but again, I would say do something a little challenging in economics. Again, mathematics and economics is challenging. Try to work out with your brain. Okay, I'm gonna get some of your new questions. Any opportunity for Brazilians? I guess this is regarding the position we have in LinguaTrip. Please send your resume again if you have, especially if you have experience in study abroad. Please send over your resume to cv@linguatrip.com and tell us why you want to work for us. Again, your English should be super fluent. Okay. Oh, that's a great question. Do you have any videos about college interviews for jobs as well? Let's talk about interviews, because in the last couple of months, I guess we hired maybe 10 plus people to our team. And we've done a lot of interviews, and college interview and job interview is an opportunity for us or for college to understand what kind of person you are. Because you've already sent your resume. We know your numbers, we know your experience, we know almost everything about you from your cover letter and your resume. Interview is when we figured out whether we'll be great in working together as a team. And personally, I don't really I don't like asking specific questions about the industry or whatever, just because I know if I feel that a person is smart, he knows how to Google. This is the first thing. Second thing, I know that he's going to figure it out. So on the interview, and when I had maybe like 5 college interviews myself when I was interviewed, and they don't really ask you what is the Pareto law or whatever. They don't ask specific questions. They want to see what kind of person you are, whether you're smiling. This is like super important. Smile, keep an eye contact. I think I keep staring at the screen, but this is the camera. I should have been looking at it all the time. Keep eye contact. Be cheerful, be active. Show them that you're going to be, the best employee they've ever had, just by having that energy. Energy is really important. Even if you're interviewing through Skype, you can see the energy. You can see how active the person is. Because sometimes even when they ask you for an interview and you say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy today, maybe we could do it in a week, this already means that you're not interested. For colleges, another thing, so for example, if we talk about top universities like Harvard, Stanford, MIT, they would always want to see you in person on their campus. And if you tell them, hey, so if they invite you to come over and you tell them, hey, I cannot really travel, I'm busy, blah, 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 they would think about it as a sign that you're not really interested, because they think if Harvard invites you, then you really have to make this effort and you should come. So also everything that happens before an interview is really, really important. And if you really want the job, you need to show your employer that you're ready to travel, you're ready to cancel some of your meetings just because you want that job. Another thing, when you're applying for a job and you keep rejected all the time, I know that happens. Like you send your resume, nobody gets back. You send your resume again, nobody gets back. I would tell you our best employees in a company, they kept reaching out like crazy. So they reached out for the first time and we said probably no. Then the second time they did something for free for a company, like, oh my God, I noticed that mistake on your website here, here, and here. You need to correct it. And then we see that the person is genuinely interested. And even if we don't have an open position, we don't want to miss somebody who's that interested. So for example, if you aim to, if you love some company, even if you want to work for them, what I would do, I would just keep reaching out. Even not getting any replies, I would just keep reaching out, maybe on LinkedIn, maybe through their website. But I would be researching their website every day and keep telling them what can be done better, do something for free, correct a text. And always, this happens like all the time. When they have an open position, they would scroll through the emails they've already had. They would scroll through the resumes they've already had, and they're going to select somebody who's already reached out. This is super important. Okay. Can you code on Linux? No, I cannot. What about computer science? I think computer science is a great option, something you can really study. Can you tell us beauty secrets? This is about job. This is about finding the right place in your life, not about beauty secrets. But I know so many bloggers, girls bloggers who were not really interested in cosmetics, but just because they wanted to share how they put their makeup on, they were not really professionals. They just done it in the cool way. And they have like 500,000 subscribers right now. And they are so big on YouTube. Again, it's about finding what you love the most. Oh my God, I keep shaking my table. I keep telling people that if you love playing computer games, there are people who love that as well. They started their Twitch channel or they started their YouTube channel where they stream games and they earn millions of dollars. You just have to love that. You just have to, go that extra mile and not be like everybody else, but bring something new to the game. Bring something new to the way you stream. Because the market is really competitive right now, especially for the video games. But again, if you're interested in something, how I started my channel, I was passing TOEFL, I was passing GMAT, and I realized all of the information on YouTube is not really relevant. It is either presented by somebody who hasn't really taken the test himself, or it's just, you know, something really unpractical. So I told myself, once I pass those tests, and if I'm successful, I'm going to film those videos. I haven't really planned on becoming a YouTuber or whatever. I just wanted to share information. So this is something you should rely on, something that comes from your heart, something you think, oh wow, I'm ready to do this for free because I just love it. You know, I'm ready to play this game for free and stream it to people. And it doesn't matter whether it's just 2 people watching this time, because in a year, it's just a matter of how they grow. Maybe, I don't know, again, if you like makeup, and you want to share because you studied everything, like what is inside this product, and you want to share that this product contains a lot of silicones, please don't use it. Just release it. Again, if you want to share something, if you're willing to do it for free, don't think that, oh my God, I want to start my YouTube channel just because there is Logan Paul and he got 10 million subscribers in a year. I'm going to do the same. I want to be popular. This is not the right motivation. The right motivation is that you have something to say, you've done your research, and you want to share it. This is the motivation that you should get. Other things, they are a little tricky because they're not going to give you enough, how's it called? Enough energy to continue. Okay. Marina, the best inspiration in life. Thank you so much. You're a very good YouTuber. Thank you. How has failure or apparent failure set you up for later success? That's a great question. You know, there were some moments in my life where I failed or something happened that I really relied on, and something I didn't expect. This might sound really common and really uninteresting, but it really makes you stronger. Because now when something is just about to happen, first I tell myself that I remember that something happened like a couple of years ago and what happened later, and everything is fine, right? I got over that situation. It really makes you stronger, first thing. The second thing is, I read this book by Dale Carnegie, again, so mainstream, but he talks about how to stop worrying and start living. I think I talked about this book in a video where I said, I talked about my favorite books. And yes, this is still my favorite book, because you know what he said? When something is just about to happen and you start being nervous and you're like, oh my God, what if? What you should do is you have to sit down and you have to tell yourself, okay, if this happens, what is the worst scenario? Like, for example, I get fired. What is the worst scenario? Okay, I'm going to be jobless for a couple of months, but then I'm going to find the right job. So always ask yourself, what is the worst case scenario if something happens? And think of a solution. When something happens, the worst case scenario, what are you going to do? And once you have this plan, you just, you just relax. This, when you're running a business, everything is so competitive. Like literally every day you have to come up with something new to keep up the competition. And sometimes you get tired of it. And sometimes you see other people inventing cool things and you haven't done that. And you're like, oh my God, I missed on that. But it's okay. You just sit down, you relax. It's okay to feel really down a couple of days in a week. Like there are some days when I think I don't want to do anything. I don't want to work. I don't want to film. I just want to lay down and relax and, have a job that just pays me salary and that's it. You have it. And probably when you have your, stable job, you think you want to quit and you want to run a business. It happens all the time. You just need to accept it. You just need to tell yourself, this is one of those days. I know that in a couple of days, everything is going to be super different. Do your yoga, do your meditation, go out. I don't know, do something that you really enjoy. Scroll through Instagram, but yeah, I think this is really important. No pain, no gain. That's true. That's also true. There was so many failures in entrepreneurs' lives. And also, if you look at great stories of entrepreneurs like Henry Ford, for example, I think he became successful only when he was 50. Before that, he was trying and trying and trying and failing and failing and failing. But then by the age of 50, he became successful. So there is nothing bad at failing. The worst thing if you're not trying and if you're just giving up. Work before masters or masters before work? Another great question. I would say if you are, if you want to study abroad for your master's and you have an opportunity to start the application process now, I would say do it now, because the longer you postpone, the less chances there are you're going to travel later, because there's so many things that might happen that would prevent you from traveling, and you will want to stay in your country. So if it's a study abroad master's, I would do it as fast as you can. If it's just staying at home and if you have an opportunity to work, I would work. Because getting the real experience would maybe also tell you that you don't need your master's and you need master's in something in a different sphere. Because when I went out to work, what I realized right now is that I want to take a course in filmmaking, because before that I thought I would need to take a course in marketing. But with, when I started working, I realized I can learn about marketing a lot from just online resources. But filmmaking is something that is practical, where I would be able, during the course, I would be able to hold my camera, to talk to people, to try and film everything myself and have somebody correct what I've done. So my dream right now is to do a filmmaking course, and hopefully I'm going to do it soon. I'm talking to a school in LA. But yeah, once you have this experience, you realize you have better understanding of what you need from your education. Because when you just graduate from a bachelor's degree, you don't have any work experience. You might have something, a different approach to your master's. Yeah, filmmaking is a big step, especially the reality of the industry. I know. Everybody's a blogger right now. Everyone wants to film their own stuff. That's why I want to try and level up whatever I'm doing. What do you think about social sciences and psychology? Can I do a university in the USA? It depends. If you're interested, then of course, yes. Psychology is a big thing, but you will not be able to work with people as a doctor. Unless you do the 4 or 5 year education. Have you decided? What? Sorry, I didn't get the question. What have you decided for filming? So the course that I want to take starts in December. I actually just received an email from the school that they would be able to accommodate me. The only thing is to sort out the accommodation in LA. The problem is I have an apartment here in San Francisco. I went to Los Angeles. I thought my first thought was renting an apartment for a year in LA. But then I realized if I pay the price that I want to pay, this is a really shitty house and I don't want the house for a year. So I will look for an apartment for just 2 months. It's December and January for the length of the course. So once I figure it out, I will definitely let you know. I'm super excited. If you follow me on Instagram, it's Lingua Marina. You're gonna see, you might have seen the stories from the academy where I want to take the course. All right. Let me see, what is the next question. What education have you pursued so far? So I have my bachelor's and master's degrees from St. Petersburg State University in Russia. I have 2 years of unfinished PhD, and this is it. And I've done a lot of study abroad. I've done a language course in the UK, maybe like 5 or 7 times. I've done a language course in Canada. I've done a language course in the United States. I've done a language course in Germany. I've done a semester abroad in Germany. As you see, I love traveling. Oh, and I've done Italian in Italy. I think these experiences all together, they were really beneficial, especially the traveling part. This was something that really formed me as a personality, something that allowed me to start whatever I'm doing, the channel. give up drinking. I'm drinking coffee. Sorry, guys. Morning is tough. Mornings are really tough because I work till 1 a.m. and then I go to sleep at 1:30, and like in the mornings, I'm still trying to wake up. But I want to find the right time for the webinar. So this time is the best, I guess. So that's why I am a little, sleepy, drinking coffee. No, I'm not sleepy. How did you become such a fluent speaker? Practice, practice, and practice. As I said, I've done like 7 or 8 study abroad experiences where I just went to a language school to communicate with teachers who are native speakers. What do you do for a living? Guys, linguatrip.com. This is my company. This is what I do for a living. And I also do YouTube. But this is not really for a living. This is for fun. Can you speak German? Of course I can, because I've done a semester there. Can we do MBA and PhD? Yes, you definitely can, because MBA is a 2-year program, PhD is a 4-year program. It just means studying for 6 years. It depends whether you need it or not. Wait, some people, sometimes I'm surprised by people who think that PhD is super easy. PhD is tough work. PhD is 9 to 6 every day, 5 days a week, for 4 years, research, research, and research, and you work with your professor, and it's not like you're relaxing. It is hard work. Can you speak Turkish? No, I can't. MBA, operations, or master's in industrial engineering. Guys, I don't know you. Himanshu, sorry, I don't know you personally. This is such a tough question. This is if I asked you filmmaking or innovation in education course. Like, how can you tell? I don't know you. What's your, oh, sorry. Is it a good idea to change a career path after bachelor's and do master's in a different field of study? This is what I said. I am, if you want to study abroad and if you have opportunity to go now, I would go now. If you're not sure, then get that work experience and maybe you would choose a completely different field. Will you share your daily routine with us? Oh, this is a cool idea. I actually wanted to shoot a video, a day in the life of entrepreneur slash blogger. Yeah, this is a pretty cool idea, by the way. I'm going to write it down. I have this book where I'm writing everything, like all of my ideas, and I will definitely share with you guys. If you have any more ideas for the videos, again, the best way would be is to write them down in Instagram. It's Lingua Marina, because there, last comments, because this chat, I'm just going to close it later and I'm going to forget it. But if you write it on Instagram, I will definitely, I won't miss it. Okay, I'm writing it down. Daily routine video. You know what I'm trying to do? I will try and do 2 videos a week on my English channel, on this channel. Because before it was 1 video a week with no schedule. Now I will try to do 1 video on Thursday, 1 video on Sunday, and 1 live stream. So it's going to be 3 times when we meet up on this channel. I'm super excited to try that out. I know that's a lot of work, and keeping up to a schedule is a tough thing, because taking that tomorrow I will be traveling the whole day, and maybe in December I'll be moving to LA for 2 months to take my course. That will be super tough, but I will do my best. I'll try for this month and see how it goes. The program, the filmmaking program, is really, really challenging. It's 9 to 6 every day. But maybe I'll have some chance to film during the program. What is the best movie to learn English? You know what's the best movie? The best movie is the one that is on the topic that interests you. For example, for me, I love entrepreneurship. I love the Silicon Valley. So as I said, the Silicon Valley is like the best TV show ever for me, because they film everything here. San Francisco, Silicon Valley, I recognize places, I recognize problems that they deal with because I have gone through the same problems. So the Silicon Valley is #1 for me. #2 would be the Suits, because I like everything that is connected with law and how they think, and there's a lot of legal lexic. If you haven't watched House MD yet, like go ahead and watch it. House MD is super cool, especially if you're interested in medicine. Are you still using the same supplements for hair? Actually, yes, I still do. I still do omega-3, which is super important, I guess, for everything: hair, nails, skin. I just ordered my, I don't know, maybe 6th shampoo, the caffeine C1, what was it? Yeah, caffeine shampoo. If you type in on YouTube my hair loss, because I had this problem in what was it? This spring 2017. I had like severe hair loss, and I started taking vitamins. Started taking care of my hair, and it's better. It's definitely better, and I'm still using everything. Can we pass GMAT in Berlin? Yes. How long does it take to prepare for it? It depends. Some people who are good at maths, they might take, I don't know, 2 weeks. So some people it's up to 6 months. Again, it really depends. House MD is awesome. I know it's awesome. I watched it maybe like 4 years ago, but I feel that I'm ready to watch it once again. What is the startup culture like in LA compared to San Francisco? I would say, I'm sorry, I'm shaking the table all the time. Last time I tried to watch my live stream, I realized the table is shaking. I'm going to get a new table pretty soon. It's not going to be shaky, hopefully. Okay, LA startup culture compared to San Francisco. I would say Los Angeles is a little more relaxed and it's still about film, fun, entertainment. So this is why Snapchat's office is in LA. Tinder office is in LA. Who else is in LA? There's the Silicon Beach. They're trying to build their Silicon Valley. But I still think the greatest minds in the startup industry, the greatest companies are still in the Silicon Valley. And this makes people who are here more entrepreneurial. So if you're building something in entertainment or something in influencer market, LA is definitely a place to be. But if you are building something that is more, I don't know, optimization, backend, whatever, the Silicon Valley is the place. Can Indian students go to Caltech? Of course. What about humidity in California? Does your hair curl? It's not really humid. Well, yesterday was raining, but I would say normally, like right now, the sun is shining. I can show you because I now have, oh my God, I'm sorry. The room is a little messy, but here we go. Hey, focus. Yeah, this is how it looks like right now. Sun is shining, everything is nice, and I'm here. No humidity. My hair is just naturally not really straight. I tried to curl it yesterday for my video. Are you gonna see in the video? In the video, it looks so much better. Now it's like I slept the whole night, that's why. What do you think about the iPhone app for Linguatrip? I think that is not, like for Linguatrip, the core product, I think it's not really useful just because the average trip is like $1,000, $1,500. And it's not something you buy every day. So the majority prefer to use the desktop version. But again, this is something that we're still thinking of. I don't think it's a priority right now. But we are working on a couple of other products which would need an app, definitely. Have you read The Catcher in the Rye by Salinger? Yes, when I was at school, long time ago. I don't really remember it, but yes, I have read it. What factors should I consider while shortlisting universities? For me, the first factor when I was choosing my universities in the States was full financial aid because I didn't have enough money to support myself. And then you look at other factors like average salary, the courses that they have, teachers that they have, average student profile, compare yourself to their students by GPA, by standardized test, whatever. Was Steve Jobs from Silicon Valley? Yes, Steve Jobs lived in Palo Alto, and well, on my Russian channel, I had a video about visiting his home. I just walked near his home, but it was 2 years ago. That's why I don't have it on my English channel because my English channel is younger than that. But yeah, the funniest thing is, well, I don't know, funny, not funny, but when I was there, this is a secured area, so you would see people who look just like random people. They're not wearing any uniforms. They are safeguarding the home. And they were so suspicious when I started filming just in front of the entrance. But yeah, you can go there. You can just Google Steve Jobs home, Palo Alto. You can come there. It's an open space. You can just walk around and see other houses and see his house. And it's a very beautiful area, especially right now when leaves are getting yellow and orange and the sun is shining through them. You get this feeling of autumn in California. How can we patent right for new ideas for products? How to do there, how to do that. If you want to patent your idea, you cannot patent the idea itself. You need to patent the method. So for example, if you building a computer vision algorithm, you should present the agency with the algorithm itself, and then you patent it. Not just the idea of computer vision that can tell you which object is what. You need to present them with the algorithm. This is how it works. Do you need an update on Linguatrip? I own a design studio, and I can propose my view of the site. The thing is, we want somebody who will work full-time in our team. We tried outsourcing, but it doesn't really work for us. We need people who will join our team full-time and work on design. But yeah, we're looking for a UX UI person, but to join us full-time. Is there any advantages in full scholarships in top universities for research assistants in nanotechnology? Yes, I would totally say so, because again, research is something that is really good in terms of finance, in terms of financial aid. Like nanotechnology, all the science stuff is good. Have you tried Starbucks coffee in Russia? What's the difference with the US Starbucks? I have tried Starbucks in Russia once. Maybe. I would say there is no difference. I don't like Starbucks even here. The only drink I like there is iced coffee. I like Illy. We have it just downstairs. And I have the whole box at home. I do my coffee myself. What is your favorite place in the Silicon Valley? My favorite place in Silicon Valley. I would say Mountain View, just because this is the first place where we lived in America when we came here with almost nothing, and we rented this really, really small apartment for 3 people, and we tried to look for the cheapest one, and we shared it with other immigrants. I think Mountain View just has this spirit of something big awaiting in the future. Yeah, it's a cool place. And, you have Google there, you have Facebook, you have, what else is there? Like all of the cool offices are there. I would say Mountain View. But in terms of living, I prefer living in San Francisco because more things happen here. And I don't know, I can just go downstairs and get my coffee. In Mountain View, I would need to drive. Iced coffee, yeah, I know. Mountain View is very costly, isn't it? Compared to San Francisco, it's cheaper. But yeah, everything in the Bay Area costs a lot. The cheapest place would be to go across the Bay. Like if you want to stay in the area, you go across the Bay. I think the place called Fresno, and there's Oakland, there is Alameda. Those places are cheaper, but they are less safe, and there are more like killings or shootings there, so I wouldn't go there at night. But I know many people travel across the bridge and live in Oakland. There are some really good areas that are closer to the bridge because a lot of professionals are moving to Oakland because it's cheaper. Berkeley is also a cheaper place, and it's a nice place because it's a university place, and it takes about an hour to get to San Francisco. How many celebs have you met? Who's you need to get a definition of a celebrity, because I know personally, I know a lot of YouTube bloggers, but I don't know whether you consider them celebrities or whether the level of a celebrity would be a Kim Kardashian type. So I don't know. I met a lot of bloggers in terms of celebrities, maybe a couple. I don't know. Did you get your scholarship? Yes, I did. Do you make mistakes when you speak English? Of course I do. And I guess the majority of my mistakes come from not paying attention to articles, to what else? Sometimes I use complicated structures in a slightly wrong way. The thing is, I know that I'm making mistakes. The problem there is that I have all of my thoughts running out in my head and I don't pay attention to what I'm saying. But when I record myself, when I record a video and then I watch it once again, I realize, oh, here was this mistake, here was this mistake. Oh my God, I need to pay attention, I need to pay attention. But this is how you learn. If you're struggling, if you keep making the same mistakes, record yourself, then look at the video. And if you compare my current videos to my first videos, you will notice a really, really big difference in the way I speak, in the way I present, well, you wouldn't see that difference, but the thing is, if you look at my TOEFL videos, I think it took me maybe a couple of hours to shoot them because I sat down And I had to re-record so many phrases because I made so many mistakes, and I caught myself, oh my God, this was wrong. Like, I had to stop. I had to record the video once again. I had to correct myself. Now it takes me a lot less time to record a video. So of course, there is a lot of progress. If you watch my first live streams, I deleted them, but still, if you compare, you would totally notice a difference. Can you speak Russian right now? You know what? I have a channel called Marina Mogilko, Mogilko, which is just Russian. And I speak Russian for hours there. Ну да, я могу сказать вам что-то по-русски. Ребята, которые русские смотрят, они будут рады русской речи. He was my Russian. You got it. All right. How to get an internship in Silicon Valley firms? You need to apply. This summer, I met a guy who, he was from Moscow. He was one of my subscribers, and he worked for YouTube in London. And I asked him, how does this happen? You're 20 years old, you're still doing your bachelor's, and you're in London doing your internship in Google. And he said the way you do it, you just apply. Google runs a lot of internship programs for students from all over the world. And what he said, first year I did my internship in Zurich in Google. That was easier for him to get from Moscow. The second year he does it in London, and he said the next year I'm going to Monmouth. I will be in the headquarters. I want to be in the Silicon Valley. So this is what you do. You just apply. You just go to their internship page and you apply to all of the positions that they have, and you have to be persuasive. As I said 20 minutes ago, you have to reach out. You have to keep reaching out, keep helping them, and this is the way they notice you. Are there a lot of homeless people in San Francisco and in the US in general? In San Francisco, there are loads and loads and loads of them. I can't think of a city where there are more homeless people than in San Francisco. I would say here is, yeah, a lot of them. The problem is they're not just homeless. They are also mentally ill people. And the problem is in the United States, they cannot keep them in hospitals. They have to let them go because, you know, freedom and all of that. So they just let them go. And those people are unable to support themselves in a city like San Francisco where, you know, people struggle, even like healthy people struggle to live because the rent is super high. So they just let them out in the streets, and yeah, they just sleep in the streets. They do crazy stuff. Yeah, a lot of homeless in San Francisco. Unfortunately, I know the city is trying to do something for it, but it's just not happening right now. People say there are less homeless in San Francisco now compared to a couple of years ago. But, you know, in Russia, I've never seen something like that. Well, in Russia, if you're mentally ill, you will be kept in the hospital. The government would support that. And I think this is something America could learn from Russia. But I know none of the countries is perfect. There are different things happening in different countries. And what we can do, we can just help those people. Somebody's saying my Russian is good. Thank you. 27 years of practice. What do you think about studying abroad in Hungary? Guys, I've never done that. I've never done Hungary. I only met some people from Hungary who were doing the study abroad in Germany. Which university do you study at? St. Petersburg State. What language do you want to learn next? I want to learn the language of film next. Yeah, language of film, something I'm serious about. What time is it? 12:54 p.m. Hi there, Marina. I'm Russian and it's super. Okay, great. Hello, Julia. What are different job opportunities that learning languages can open? Oh, anything. If you take any sphere, if you speak good English, any opportunity, international company that has office in a different country, traveling. If you are a professional, you can do consulting in different languages, because if you can do consulting in English, that means you can work with any country in the world where people learn English, and basically everyone tries to learn English nowadays. Medicine has good scope in America than in Russia. Okay, I don't know. But best schools for masters in the USA. It depends on the subject, but for economics, Harvard would be the best. Do you have any tips for interviews? I actually talked about that, guys, maybe like 30 minutes ago. This live stream is going to stay on this channel, so you would definitely be able to watch it once again. It's going to stay for a couple of days, so make sure you watch it in the next couple of days. Okay. What else I wanted to tell you is that on Thursday, I will be releasing my first video on the schedule. So it's going to be Thursday and Sunday. If you press the bell button, you're not going to miss it because YouTube is going to send you this push confirmation that my video is on. So don't forget to press it. Yeah, this was it, guys, for today. I hope you enjoyed talking to me about finding the right job and, you know, figuring out what you want to do in life. If this was useful, don't forget to like. This is the only feedback I can get from all of you. This is the only way of showing if you enjoyed it. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. And Thursday, new video, 50 phrases that you should learn in English. Okay, see you soon. Bye-bye.